Warning, the video you're about to watch is full of utter shit. Why? No notes. 2 pages just with results on, going off my mind. Hello ladies and gentlemen, how are you? I'm Mark P and welcome to these are going to be my WWE Royal Rumble 20,000, long day, very long day, 2013 thoughts and Futureshock 64 thoughts. So we'll try and bash these ones out quite quickly then, shall we? So, Royal Rumble, Road to WrestleMania, watched it in a bar called the Kyoto Lounge in Manchester, which was absolutely rammed, which meant for me I didn't enjoy the experience as much as I was expecting to. I wasn't drinking, and everyone else there was, it seemed. So you got me, Mr. Sober, and you've got some quite hammered people there. And you know, for that, I don't know. I don't like going to bars at the best of times. I'm not a big drinker, and so yeah, that could have spoiled it a little tiny bit for me. Anyway, so let's go on with it. So opening contest, unsurprisingly, I think you'll agree, was the World Heavyweight Championship last man standing match between Alberto and the Big Show, and Bret Hart endorsed ADR backstage with a smile on ADR's face. Was absolutely. Do we call him ADR? Do we call him Del Rio? Which one is it? Let's go with Del Rio, shall we? The look on Del Rio's face, the big smile, was very entertaining. What will we remember from this match? I tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. We'll remember the finish, won't we? You know, Big Show was taped to the ropes by Ricardo. It's a clever finish. I think it's been done before. It was entertaining. It made me smile. It made everyone laugh. Where I was. The thing that I will remember from this match was that ridiculous bump that Del Rio took off the stage through a table, and it was just through one table. And I expected, like, if there were 2 tables or something underneath the table, but no, he fell upside down, and he landed basically head first on the concrete, and it was a horrible bump to watch. It was sickening. It was got a massive pop though, so you know that was all good. I didn't really have a lot. I mean, this match will be more memorable for those 2 things, but I don't really have a problem with it per se. I mean, I'm trying to think of something to nitpick. I mean, could you say it's too long? You went about 15 minutes, something like that. No, I'm trying to think of things to nitpick about this one, but I can't think of anything. I'm going to give this one a straight up 2.5 stars. Happy days. How's that one sound? We get some Royal Rumble promos. You know, back in the day. These look great, and in a place like in a bar like this, like I say, was rammed full of people. Everyone who came up got a reaction. So Cena got a massive boo, for example, which was highly entertaining. WWE Tag Team titles, Kane and Danny Bryan, aka Team Hell No, defending against the Rhodes Scholars. Again, I didn't have many problems with this match, but at the same time, it's what do you remember out of it? Other than Damien Sandow's neon pink tights. It was, once again, wasn't a bad match. Wasn't a bad match at all. I can't help but thinking they need to get rid of those tag team titles because the people care about Hell No. That's obvious by the reactions, but they don't give a damn about the tag team titles, and neither do WWE. I said on my predictions vid I didn't think they'd done enough build-up for this one, and I think that was really true again. For me, the thing about this match is there was at no point did I think Rhodes Scholar's going to win. I'm so sure of this. I can't remember what I said on my predictions vid. I think that was the only. I can't remember what I said on my predictions vid about who was going to even win this match. I think it was a very, very. I mean, this was the closest we got to having a filler match, wasn't it? I mean, how long did it go? Just over 9 minutes. So yeah, it was hard to get excited about this one. Is what I'm thinking. You know, I mean, obviously, Hell No were ridiculously over as well, and everyone's chanting yes and yada yada yada. On the plus side, of course, if you're calling this one a filler match, there was no Divas match, which was brilliant on this one. There really wasn't much filler at all on this one. That's one of the positives I'm going to take away from this pay-per-view, is that other than the thingy, there was one segment we got where we saw things like about the Royal Rumble Access weekend sort of thing that we've done, that they've done even this weekend. I didn't give a damn about that. I'm paying for this show. I don't want to see an advert for how wonderful you are, Alright, I already think you're good enough to watch the show. Don't give me more reasons to think that you're wonderful. Don't emotionally blackmail me with shit like that. You know, that for me was the filler. And then we got a big surprise, although not a big surprise if you think about it realistically. We got the Royal Rumble match. I'm sure people are going fucking off about this. I'm not happy about it, but at the same time, are you surprised, really, when you've got a match like The Rock coming back? Royal Rumble match. There wasn't much jobbers in it. It had a lot of star power towards the end. What do you remember? What the things that I'll remember from this Royal Rumble are, for example, when Kofi Kingston got chucked over the top, and he was on the announce table, and he sat there pondering how to get back to the ring and use JBL's chair to pogo his way back to the apron. That was very good. I loved when Daniel Bryan eliminated Kane, and then got eliminated and basically landed in Kane's arms, and Daniel Bryan begging Kane not to put me back in the ring, and they just dropped him and just went, meh. That I absolutely loved. Returning stars, I mean, we got Godfather for not even a minute, but it was still, yay, that's Godfather. Goldust, his interaction with Cody Rhodes, I really enjoyed. Chris Jericho coming out at number 2. If my fucking rabbit hadn't chewed through my mouse wire this morning, I will show you. I filmed pretty much every entrant complete with the countdown from 5. Some of the reactions were ridiculous. The one that got the biggest reaction all night from anyone was Chris Jericho. By Country Mile, he came out at number 2. He stayed in the ring for ages, didn't he? And he looked good. But, you know, this fans are chanting, "You've still got it," at him. It's like, that was a bit strange, wasn't it? But yeah, the final 4, Sheamus, Cena, Ziggler, Ryback. I mean, Ziggler did so good, didn't he? And everyone was gutted when he was eliminated. And I think what was interesting about this show is I talked to a lot of people before this show. I worked 2 shows this weekend. For those who don't know, I worked for GPW and I worked for Great Bear Promotions as a play-by-play man. And a lot of people have talked to me this weekend about the Royal Rumble, and it's been obviously there's been the 2 questions all along: who's winning the title, or who's keeping the title? What's happening in the title match? Who's winning the Rumble? And every single one I've said the same thing: Rock, Cena, Rock, Cena, Rock, Cena. It's just. What was crazy, I found, is that so many people didn't believe that Cena was winning the Rumble, that they either tricked themselves or were that convinced they actually believed that that someone else was going to win this Rumble match. And I just couldn't share that sentiment at all. Cena wins, not surprising. Took him 55 minutes. Ryback looked impressive in this match, I must say. Ziggler looked very good. I mean, it wasn't a classic Royal Rumble, but it wasn't the worst, is what I'll say. And then, our main event. And when so many people, remember what I've just said about Cena winning the Rumble? So many people just refused to believe that Rock was winning this match. And it's like, Rock's winning the match. Rock's winning the match. I am convinced. I will bet my reputation on this. I will stake my reputation. I'll put money on it. Anything you want. Anything. And then, of course, they showed, Rock did a promo before the match, a live promo like he used to do back in the day, and he mentioned his mum beating cancer, and you're like, he's winning the match. His mum's in the front row, Rock's winning. How can you say anything else? And the match, I thought, especially for someone who hasn't wrestled since, last April, I thought Rock looked alright, looked a bit blown up at times, and there was a couple of botches, admittedly, but as a match, I had absolutely no problem with it until... and well, I mean, the table bump was a bit silly. I mean, the table collapsed underneath them and they fell right down. So Rock, thinking on his feet, picks him back up and rock bottoms him on the outside. That's a bit crazy, isn't it? Because the rock bottom on the outside will hurt so much more than the table. Why didn't you just do it on the outside anyway? That's the sort of thinking that I had. Do you know what? The thing about this match is, I don't know. I'm in a room with 100 people watching this pay-per-view, and everyone had been made so much noise during the show, but during this match, everyone was deathly quiet. It was very, very strange because, well, I mean, watching this match, and it wasn't like a tension, that sort of silence. It was just no one was talking. I'm just watching the match, but I got ridiculed to hell. I mean, I got ridiculed to hell. Everyone pointing and laughing at Mark P. Everyone turning, which is an experience I'm used to, obviously, but everyone turning around when Punk wins. Everyone Punk retains. Why did Punk retain? Because lights go out, the Shield come out, triple powerbomb, Rock through the announce table. We didn't see it, we just assumed it was the Shield. Michael Cole was convinced it was the Shield. So Vince McMahon comes out after Punk had won. He wants to strip Punk of the title, as per the stipulation. But Rock doesn't want it like that. Rock says if anyone's taking that title off him, it's going to be me. And naturally, 4 minutes later, I'm sat there dumbfounded almost. Because I actually shouted at the TV screen, not like this. I was so pissed off. Oh no, I wasn't so pissed off. Where went I said? Sorry about that. Someone left the microwave on. I just thought, no, please don't lay down to the people's elbow. A 400+ title reign, don't end it. Oh no, it ended to the people's elbow. That was disappointing to me. I don't like it when Rock wins matches with that move. I really do not. Win it with your rock bottom, happy days, not with the bastard people's elbow. But Rock won. Rock is the champion, 8-time WWE champion, happy days. I thought the match was alright. I know you guys probably hated it, but it was another, in a show full of them, another 3-star match. I mean, I thought the Rumble was 3 stars, I thought the opener was 3 stars, and I thought the tag team title match was, you know, in the 2.5-star category, maybe 2 stars. This was, I thought it was a decent show. It was all right. It was, the thing is, I know a lot of people out there are going to be saying it was boring and it was predictable, but we all knew it was predictable, didn't we? We knew who was going to win the matches. It's just a case of sitting and enjoying it. It wasn't the greatest show I've ever seen, not by country mile. I mean, judging by my star ratings, if I go on 5-star ratings, a 3-star is a what? Right in the middle? So it's a proper right in the middle show. So it's like a 6, 7 out of 10 kind of show. That's what I think anyway. I would love to know what you thought down here. Genuinely, I'm intrigued to read your opinions on this one, because I haven't read anyone else's. I've tried my absolute hardest to avoid other people's opinions, alright? Because I don't like my opinion being swayed by other people. We didn't talk about it on the way home, we just listened to music and chatted, but didn't talk about this show, because of course, what else did we talk about? Well, we talked about Futureshock, which I'll talk about in a second. What did you think of the Rumble? Like I say, I'm going to go for a 6.5 out of 10 for this show. That's because I say it's a 6, 7 kind of show. Going for bang in the middle, 6.5. What did you think, ladies and gentlemen? Now, of course, the other part of this vid, I'm going to be talking about Futureshock, so if you want to bugger off, I genuinely won't hold it against you. You should stick around, though. This show was freaking brilliant. Okay, we're at the Guildhall. We haven't been there for 8 long weeks. It feels like so much longer. This is the second time I've experienced this. The winter break that just is torturous, to be honest. And the thing is, what's crazy is there's a Futureshock show every 6 weeks. How come those extra 2 weeks feel so much longer? I just don't understand it. It was announced that Jay Lethal will be there on August the 26th. That's my birthday weekend. Oh yes, very, very happy about that. What was the other thing they announced? Oh, they've got a new venue, which is in Prestwich, which I don't know where that is, so that's going to be an interesting one. So, opening contest, Mark Massa defeating Sona Durson in a really, really good match. Sona Durson's singles debut here in Futureshock. Mark Massa's been at Lance Storm's training academy for months, and I really enjoyed this. There was a couple of fluffs, a couple of botches, but it was hard hitting. Both men went out to look good, went out to make the other man look good, was the impression that I got. Sona Durson hitting this corkscrew flip to the outside that was just fantastic. Mark Massa with his power stuff, power manoeuvres. He won with a move that I can't remember. Or a reverse slam. It's like, oh, how do we describe it? I don't know what, it's not describing it's the problem, it's what it's called. Gets him up on the shoulders, okay, heads here, flips him onto the back. Is that a reverse slam? That's what we're going to call it. With a reverse slam to get the win. Next up, 8-man tag team match. I had no problems with this match at all. Honestly, the opener, let's just go back to that. No problems with the opener. The crowd were really into it. And like I say, both men went out, it looked like they were going to make each other look good. Okay, it would be easy for Sona, for example, to make Mark Massa look very, very good. Because Mark Massa's a beast and Sona's quite small, he could have just bumped around for him and Mark Massa would have come out looking like a fucking superstar. But both men gave as good as they got, which I thought was fantastic. Next one, 8-man tag, Notorious B.A.D. and Project Ego defeating the Models, CJ Banks and Nordic Warrior. Absolutely fantastic. Probably my match of the night, to be honest. Bell to bell, wall to wall action. It was funny at times. There was some really, really good hits in this one. Some good moves, some high risk maneuvers. I loved at the start when the Models made the Nordic Warrior an official model. That was very funny. And you had CJ Banks on the top rope flexing like a model does. That was very entertaining stuff. Models are my favourite tag team in the country, as we all know. Project Ego, I've never seen live, believe it or not. That's utter shit, isn't it? I've seen them before. Dickhead, I'm sorry. I've never seen them live at Futureshock. How's that sound? I saw them at Infinite last year against the Models, believe it or not. Amazing match. Yeah, thoroughly enjoyed this one again. Next up, Women's Open Challenge. April David's Open Challenge. And the guys gone round asking who they thought would be the mystery opponent who answered the Open Challenge. I said alpha female because I've never seen it before. And I'd really like to. I was so chuffed when Nikki Storm's music hit, because she had a match with April at Futureshock 62 that I absolutely loved so much. And it was just like, oh. And then Nikki comes out and she's wearing this black outfit and she looks so fucking hot. And you're like, damn. And she's so full of, the word that came to mind, she's full of spunk. How's that sound? She's full of spunk. Oh my God. Guy sat in the row behind us says in his Scottish accent, show us your growler. She gets up on the top rope and she gave him such a mouthful. And as someone who's been on the receiving end of the Nikki Storm mouthful, I know how that one felt. I feel for you there, brother. That was fun. Yeah, good match. Highlight being a superplex. April rolled through with the superplex, clock locked on the armbar. And was it an armbar? No, it wasn't, was it? Was it? You see, this is why we write notes, people. It was she won by submission, but I think it was either she normally used an armbar, but she might have had she had a Kimura on at one point. I'm sorry, I should write notes. That's just how it is, isn't it? Next up was meant to be Cyanide and Chris Egan versus Josh Bodum and Simon Valor, but Chris Egan came out, cut a promo, rah. We've got another partner. And who is it? Oh, of course, who else is it going to be? It's Dave Rain. Dave Rain came out. Too much smoke. He got smoke on his entrance, and it was too much. You couldn't see a thing by the time he actually made his way out to the ring. Like, there's a guy there, I think, and he sat there for like the first 2 minutes of the match, like, get this smoke away from me. Maybe we shouldn't sit so close to the smoke machine. Maybe on the other side of the ring, that wasn't a problem. Because of where we were sat, the smoke machine was pointing at me. And it just went into my face. And I was like, oh, okay then. Fair enough. So there's someone there. And Dave wore his bloody cruiserweight pants, which I can't bloody stand, so. Yeah, ridiculous match, is what I'll say. Highlight for me was, Josh Bodum and Dave Rain, after Futureshock 63, where Dave Rain put Josh Bodum through a table, there's quite a lot of tension and anger between the two men. And the highlight for me of this match was Josh hitting a DDT on Dave onto the ring out, and that basically eliminated both men. Simon Valor has got probably the hardest punches I've ever seen. He really does look like he's a stiff puncher. If someone could verify that for me, that'd be interesting. Yeah, proper bam, 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 proper, really hard. Set out powerbomb on Valor by Cyanide, and Egan hits a splash to get the pinfall. This was a surprise, genuinely, because this means that Simon Valor still hasn't got revenge for we're getting glassed by Chris Egan all those months ago. It's still coming up short, and it's like, this is a puzzle for me. This is where are they going with this storyline? Because that was last June. And he still hasn't got any revenge. And it's like, what's he going to do to get revenge? Is he going to take a 3-on-3? I just don't know. I'm sure we'll find out next time. If we do, maybe Simon Valor says, fuck it, that's enough, Maybe. Next up, match I was highly looking forward to was the man for all seasons, Xander Cooper, taking on Zach Gibson and winning against Zach Gibson, which I didn't see coming. Absolutely fantastic contest. Absolutely fantastic. I know I'm saying this a lot, and I'm sure some people may be thinking that my Futureshock itis is playing up once again. And you'd have good reason to think that. But this was brilliant. This was absolutely fantastic. But they fought and fought and fought and fought, and it was all good. And then Zach was knocked to the outside. And a guy who I've seen before in Futureshock, he was Dave Rain's lawyer back at 60 when they did the contract signing between Zach Gibson and Dave Rain for the cage match. He was the lawyer that night, he tags that. And this guy basically picks up that Gibson and he rammed him face first like a lawn dart into the bumming doors. And what that meant is that Xander Cooper won by countout. Interesting little twist, and I like this a lot. That's a good way to do it. Set up a new feud straight off this one, spawn a new feud from this one. There's a good way for this guy, but whatever his name is, I do apologise. I was told last night, but I've completely forgotten. Got no notes, you see. And yeah, this is a good way to get him in the ring. You know, I'm liking that. No problem with that at all. We had a G-Man Friends segment. Sparks came out, meant to be having a match with Styx. Apparently Styx thinks that he's not worthy, so he didn't bother coming out. So we got a G-Man and Friends segment with the returning Blossom Twins. Now, you may have seen Blossom Twins on the British Boot Camp series that we all watched in the recent weeks that a lot of people slated. I really enjoyed, personally. I thought I had no problem with it because we went into it expecting it to be a reality TV show with a bit of wrestling thrown in, and that's exactly what it was. And people complained about that. I don't understand how that works. But, you know, I mean, I thought if you're going to go with the reality TV show route, the way that Tough Enough did it, the last one with Austin as the presenter, that's the way to do it. But, you know, that's just me. Blossom Twins said that they might come back one day, is the best that we can hope for. And in the main event, the Blackpool Blondes retained the tag team titles versus the Bristol Rovers in another enjoyable match. I like this one a lot. The chemistry between these two teams is just fantastic. And it was evident here in spades. And yeah, there were times when you genuinely believe the Wristlock Rovers were actually going to pull this one out of the bag. But finish came when one of them, I forget which one, I do apologise, of the Blondes, got one of the tag team belts, went to use it, referee stopped him, so the other of the Blondes, I think it was Axel, clocked both Reynaldo and DDL with the belts, cover 1, 2, 3, and they retain the championships, which is something I called a while back. I was like, there's no way they're dropping them in the first defence, that'd just be daft. But then there was more. And, you know, we're sat there getting up ready to leave, but there's more because we're getting the trophy, the title trophy presentation to Cyanide. Cyanide comes out, Damien Smith presents him with the trophy. Chris Egan gets up on the mic and says a very good point, which is last time the title was vacant, the #1 contender got the championship. And Cyanide is the #1 contender by virtue of his trophy win. But then all hell broke loose because Zach Gibson interjected because he beat Dave Rain in a cage match last year to become #1 contender. Hasn't had a title shot yet. So he's also, so he says us two win against the championship. But then he gets interrupted by Josh Bodum and Dave Rain and Xander Cooper and Cy Valor, giving yourself 6 men. They start brawling. I mean, a massive brawl breaks out. Referees and other wrestlers are trying to hold these guys back. Egan wants to get to Gibson. Rain wants to get to Bodum. Xander Cooper wants to get to Gibson and vice versa. It's all pandemonium. And Damien Smith, to his credit, he always looks like he's a bit shy when he gets in the ring, but to his credit, he was brilliant here, shouting at the wrestlers to calm down, and that's enough. And it's like, the way he played it was so perfect, it made it look like it was a snap decision. Right, this is what we're doing. Next time out, tournament, 8 men, the 6 men you've seen, I've just mentioned, plus 2 more, and the winner of the one-night tournament is the new Futureshock champion. Fantastic. That's a way to get me back. I mean, I've got a season ticket, I'm going back anyway. But that, straight away, was, yes, I'm there for that. Fantastic. Futureshock, start the show, start the year in the best possible way. I've been to 4 shows this year, and all of them have been good, but this was the best one so far by quite a way. Atmosphere-wise, especially, it was just perfect. I went to 2 other shows this weekend, GPW and Great Bear. I'm going to talk about those on my podcast on Wednesday. Please feel free to tune into that. If you haven't listened to last week's episode yet, there's a link in the download in the link below. Yeah, thank you very much for watching, ladies and gentlemen. I hope the sound of my voice and the croak in my voice hasn't put you off, or the fact that I've had about 15 minutes sleep today and, you know, have no notes. So this vid was probably at least 10 minutes longer than it needed to be, and I've rambled and rambled and rambled some more. I thought the Rumble was alright. I thought Futureshock was fantastic. I'd love to know what you thought down below. I've been Mark P. Hit that subscribe button, leave me a comment, click the like button, all that jazz. Follow me on Twitter, yada yada yada. I'll be back tomorrow with a Raw review. Take it easy, guys.